Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Pauly Howard, Mike Palm, Mitch back Tuesday. The Genuine Article, Richie B. That was a lot of fun, and he'll be a regular during the madness on Fridays as well. We told you eclectic mix. We did NFL. We did college hoops. We'll get to Don't Be That Guy at the casino in 15 minutes. We'll talk hockey. We got Nigel Wasaki and soccer, and now it's Uncle Lou. Lou Finicaro, always read him, vsin.com, contributor, great article up there to preview the card with the digital, and he joins us now at Gam Lou on X on the progressive guest line. You mentioned that, these favorites have been crushing it last year, but what's happened so far this year?
Regression is the word for 2025, Paul, and thankfully so. The whole year, last year, 70.5% favorites for the UFC. A normal year is 63 or 64. Now, regression's probably taken too much course because it's about 57%. We've only been through about 3 events so far in the year. Let's see how it holds. But I really need to count on 63 or 64%, not 70.
Yeah. Does it seem like more fights are going to decision, which I know this has ticked Dana White off in the past because he wants these guys to go for it, get the bonuses, and they don't want to have it to go to the judges?
I can't tell you statistically with accuracy if that's the case or not. I do know what a premium that the UFC puts on finishes. I know that the athletes recognize that's how they make their money. If a guy's making 12 to show up and 12 if he wins, 50,000 means a lot. Mm-hmm. And so really part of my handicap is to find out which of the fighters are really not equipped to finish, but are so encouraged by that carrot to finish that they go outside of their shell and try and to finish. And that's really where maybe I can get a wrestler that wants to slug and he has no business slugging. So that's part of the handicap.
Yeah, very good. Interesting. Let's go to the main event. Rodriguez, a good-sized favorite, a unique approach to this, how you want to bet it, when it's going to end. Take it away.
Well, earlier in the week, we have Rodriguez, but he was a minus 155 or 190 Monday or Tuesday. And so I used him in a parlay. And now looking at this fight as we see it now with Gregory Rodriguez minus 230, he is the younger man. He's 32 against a 40-year-old. He's larger, but he is much more deliberate and premeditated. In this fight, the Cannonier, the more experienced man, is smaller, more adroit, and has more experience. Cannonier surely needs to drag this on late into the fight to tire this young man down in order to have any shot whatsoever. So part and parcel with the Gregory Rodriguez parlay release I had earlier in the week was to look at was to look at this fight to end in round 4, which is a plus 850, or for this fight to end in round 5, which is a plus 1200. What that's kind of doing for my Rodriguez bet is hedging on the Cannonier side, because without question, the Cannonier plan at 40 years old and the smaller man is to have to stay on the outside, tire Gregory Rodriguez out, and take him out late. So that's how I attack that fight.
Sounds like a plan. Fantastic breakdown. Lou Finicaro, our guest. That's the main event. It's on the progressive guest line. Okay, so I see the gals here, Avila, as high as $5 over 2.5 rounds. It's 330 at Circa. There could be some shenanigans if it goes to the judges. Tell us the unique way you're approaching this fight.
Oh, anytime you take a UFC fight to the judges, shenanigans is right up there as far as the first 3 words that comes out of someone's mouth. But in this fight, you have a gal, Cavalcante's been active. She's a long, tall kickboxer. She's got 3 fights in the UFC, all 3 decisions, 2 split decisions. And she's fighting this girl, Avila. Now, Avila has been very inactive and hasn't been around for a while. She recovering from injury, having a child, but she's a junkyard dog, and the only thing she knows how to do is stand and strike. Cavalcanti is not going to approach her with any form of wrestling, grappling, ground attack. These two girls are going to strike. The over is 2.5 rounds in a 3-round fight, juiced to 350 to the over. We're going to see a decision here. Avila is not the underdog that she's priced to be. And so for that reason, Avila via decision, and you can take that bet, a via decision. If it ends in any kind of finish, it's a no bet. A via decision plus 750. If you look at the points handicap, a via plus 3.5 points in a 3-round fight, plus 140. I think that's worth looking at as well in a fight that's just going to be two women, tossing themselves around the cage for 3 minutes, and you're going to leave it in the judge's hands. I think Avila is totally mispriced here, and we can take advantage of that.
All right. Is that the same scenario and same handicap with Cater plus 360?
Yeah, listen, this Cater fight opens Cater plus 175 and Zalal minus 2.25, which is probably accurate. Zalal is fast. Zalal is in his second UFC stint. He's really shown himself to be a much more mature, capable fighter. However, Cater has lost his last 3 to top 5 elite competition, and he shouldn't be counted out. Yes, he's 36 and older than Zalal. Yes, he's not as fast anymore as Zalal, but he's a slick boxer, and he knows he's getting overlooked here. And his price right now, plus 370, he is not a plus 370 fighter in this fight. And so for that reason, when I look at the points handicap, Paul, and I can get plus 5.5 points, and neither of these two guys, I don't think, can put the other away. Zalal doesn't have the power to put Cater away, in my opinion. I don't know if Cater can catch up to Zalal. So in a fight that's going to be what I consider to be a close decision, and I'm going to get in a 3-round fight, Cater plus 5.5 points, I'm going to gobble that up at a minus 110 number.
You usually get involved in the playoffs. Is there a future you like in hockey or anything you like in the nations, 4 nations?
I have some Canada action in the nations, to be completely honest, and I think I have an advantage in goal, although in paper it's the U.S. that has the advantage in goal. I beg to differ, because Hellebuck, playoff Hellebuck, is not a regular season Hellebuck. So there's a little of that. As far as hockey, what happens in the final season, which is the playoffs and all I care about, I like the fact that Aiden Hill isn't getting a chance to start. I like the Las Vegas Golden Knights a little bit in the West, because I'm looking for somebody to beat Edmonton. I don't think it's Dallas, but I think it could be Las Vegas right now.
Great to talk to you, sir. Have a good weekend. We'll catch up soon. Be well.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Lou.
Read them every week, vsin.com with the digital, and UFC Fight Night tomorrow here in Las Vegas. Those are his picks, and he's cashed in 11-1 and 7-1 last year doing this as well. So Avila plus 750 by decision.
Via. You have to say it like that,
go.
Paul.
Yeah,
Via.
Yeah, there's another guy who's echoed your sentiments earlier of the PK Subban rant on the pregame about, hey, Hellebuck, I don't care about your Vezinas. Win a big game. I think that's fair.
The next big game he wins will be the first.
That's right.
Except when he took us out in the body bag with Edmonton in the first round a few years ago in the sweep. Me and Mitch still haven't recovered from that.
The double tree?
Remember? Yeah,
in the COVID?
Double
tree in Edmonton, hanging out with Bernstein. Excellent. Yeah, very good. I enjoyed that with Bachelari. That's awesome.
You must have, in order to push, win-lose. Nothing trumps win-lose, but we'll have to find a spot for that later.
Well, so JB is Jeff Benson. I like that, too. Old school, come on in. Here's some drink tickets. I'll buy you. It's like some places you got to bet $300-$400 to get a drink ticket. I mean, it's like, get people in here. Let's have some fun. Let's get some action going, right? And you'll enjoy the place. Maybe grab a steak sandwich and have a beer, right? Old school.
Get them in the door.
Yeah, right. That was awesome. That was fun. He's something. Got the toothpick in the ear.
We didn't tell him. We didn't see. It's on the other side.
On the other side, yeah. Bad read.
I'm sorry, Richie.
Yep.
Hopefully we're paying him enough that he can fire on these numbers. That's all I'm concerned about.
It's sports betting and trading. Probability a key to success. Discover the power of high probability trading with Todd Bubba Horowitz, former floor trader and sports bettor, 45 years of experience. BubbaTrading.com/VSiN. Get a free ebook on options trading. Code VSiN500. Save $500 on any purchase with Bubba Trading. You know, Bob Voulgaris, he was the best NBA bettor in the world, who now was out of the business, made a ton with Bitcoin, owns a soccer team, worked for the Mavs. His story about head fakes and you know, the manipulated a number and coming in early and then pounding it late, stuff like that's awesome. And there's an art to that as well. And as Richie told the story a little bit, some guys are frustrated, but it's hard to having problems doing that now with young people not getting off the screen, but it also goes back to what ER does, and ER doesn't want to get into it and share some secrets on air. But that's fascinating about how you can. I'm going to come in and do this. Let's see what I can do with the number and the great example Richie said about no problem, go from 4 to 7 in a college football game.
You know, Paul, earlier today I facilitated Chuck Edel getting his $15,000.
Oh, beautiful. For
his first place in Matt Human's football contest show that he did every Friday night. But I have a friend who's been a listener since day one here who just. He says, anytime you know Chuck Edel or Aaron Rennings come in on the program, please give me a heads up.
Chuck's incredible.
Almost did a show with him a few years ago.
That would have been great.
You tried.
Have a 20-1 run, no doubt. I'm looking forward to this. Over 30 years, almost 30 years experience in the business. Don't be that guy. The dirty dozen. Don't do this at a casino. Mike Palm has the floor next. Follow the money. Sirius XM Channel 158.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Beating up at the Genesis. Thompson, your leader, 7 under through 12. Scheffler, Dunlap, McIlroy, 2 shots back. McCarthy, who cashed at 60-1. Higher than that in some spots. First round leader, 4 under, along with Rogers. And Clark, 3 under. Adam Scott, 1 under. Rye, Fleetwood, Connors in the mix, in the top 20. Update on the golf. Been looking forward to this for a week. I think you're going to hit it out of the park here. So over almost 30 years experience in the casino business. And you always see characters coming out here, and maybe someone has too much to drink, but the do's and don'ts, and you see a lot of it, unique, crazy behavior. But this is an interesting twist and spin on it. The dirty dozen, and there'll be some honorable mention as well. Don't be that guy. Don't do this at a hotel casino, and maybe you could tie it. Maybe it's more emphasis on playing or dealer, whatever, dealer abuse, whatever. But I'm excited for your list here and what you're going to have, because you're awesome with lists, and then plus all your experience and knowledge here. I think that'd be a home run. I'm excited.
We got to do it. Don't be that guy at the airport airplane one. I think we could come up with 12 pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's start with this list for casinos. Don't be that guy that tells everyone else how to play and usually has the least chips in front of him.
Yes.
Everybody advising, here's how you play crap. Here's how you should play blackjack. You know you can't hit this. You got to split on the roulette table, bet the outside. And that's always the guy that's busted, too. Annoying. Just play your own way.
Yeah.
Let everybody else come in and play their own way. If you don't like it, the way somebody's playing, go move to another blackjack table.
Yeah.
If you don't like it.
Big problem at blackjack.
It's the most problem at blackjack.
Yeah, very good. Don't do this. Okay, that's excellent. I like that.
Also, a little advice. If you're new, sit as far to the right as you can, right? As far away from third base as you can. If other people come in, then they can't, some people can't figure out 5 cards from now what it would have been. I put this, they're in no particular order, but number 1 is a big one. Don't be that guy that splashes his chips onto the numbers on a craps layout. If you're playing craps, put your chips in front of you and maybe into the cum if you can, and let the dealer place them. There's 8 other people on your side or 7 other people putting bets, and they're all on a specific side. Then these people throw the money onto the number, and it goes onto the file, and it knocks everybody else's stack down. Now we're trying to figure out, well, who did you? I had 36. No, you had 30. I had this. I had 180. Just put the chips down and let the dealer move them to where they should be on the table.
Yep. FTM at vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. Get at us on Instagram. Don't be that guy. Things that bother you. Behavior at casinos. Okay.
Yeah, the list is not all inclusive. This is only a 3-hour show. Number 3, don't be that guy that just sat down and complains, I haven't seen a cocktail waitress in 30 minutes.
Oh!
Every day. Every day.
Oh, that's good.
Every day. Sit down 2 minutes. I haven't seen a wait. Where are the waitresses? I've been here 30 minutes. Where are the waitresses? Every day. These people.
Wow.
Exaggerating.
That's a good, yes.
Jerks.
Very good.
Want special attention.
I thought you were also going to go, can I win a hand?
Well, that could be. That didn't make the cut.
But I'm saying,
Yeah,
but that's,
yeah.
no, that's excellent. That's a big problem.
They lose 3 hands and they want to know.
Yeah.
Dealer change. Hey, that's true. That didn't make the list. Demand a dealer change anytime they lose 3 hands in a row. Don't be that guy that asks anyone standing around on the table, are you the cooler whenever they lose? 7 outcomes. It looks some poor guy's coming up to watch. What do they send you in? Are you the cooler? Number 5. Don't be that guy that puts a taken sign on a chair and disappears for hours. You gave me this. Pauly, this was yours.
Hey, no, this is from JVT yesterday.
Oh, okay.
This is very good. And this is a big problem
coming up now.
In the sports book, at the bar. You cannot do this. You can't do this in a sports book where, taken, and there's just a sheet. And then you go for a walk and get something to eat for 45 minutes.
They lean the chair.
Chair. That goes whether you're at the sports book, you're sitting at the bar playing video poker. This is out of control. That's an excellent job. That was from Von Tobel yesterday. Good.
Number 6, don't be that guy that barber pulls his chips. I've talked to you about this before, Paul.
Yeah.
Stack your chips in denomination order. Don't rotate the green and the black and the red and mix them all up so that if the dealer has to pay you out, she has to break down your chips and stop the game. In anything that you do that slows down any game you're at, you're being a jerk. I was a kid, Bobby Garibay, that worked with me in Indiana.
Uh-huh.
He got stuck in a 30-60 Omaha game at the Empress in Joliet one time. He carried a lot of cash. He bought out the whole rack. He bought out every chip in the rack. Asked the dealer, how much is in the rack? It was $12,000. We stopped the game for 30 minutes to buy every chip in the rack. Then they had to give her a fill. Just because he was mad, he took a couple bad beats in a row. Don't be that jerk.
Oh, wow.
All right. Don't be that guy that plays the don't pass and then cheers when a 7 comes and the rest of the table loses. If you want to play the don't pass, that's your right. Do it quietly. Just do it quietly. Don't make a big deal. Now, if everybody's playing the don't pass, it's a different thing. But don't be a jerk. All right?
What do you think of that in general, though? Betting against a shooter. No?
Sometimes you have to handicap a shooter.
That's fair.
You know what I do? If I don't like the shooter?
Right.
I just don't play.
You just don't play.
I just don't play. I just don't play.
Excellent. That's a good one.
I set out shooters if I think they're and it's not that they're bitter, they're bad, but a good shooter is someone that has muscle memory and they can try to replicate what they're doing. People that throw it differently every time, you got no shot.
Joe Wardle has a problem with the people that play with the dice forever. Set the dice. Good. It's like, let's go.
It's on here a little bit. There's a
okay.
corollary of that.
I'm sorry.
This is probably the biggest one.
Oh, boy.
Number 8. Don't be that guy that blows smoke in other people's faces. It's okay. You can smoke. It's a free country. But smoke courteously, right? And especially if they lose a hand, right in the dealer's face.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. It was really exacerbated during COVID. Number 9.
How do you handle that if you're a dealer?
Number 9, and you hear this in the sports book too.
All right.
Well, you have to try to keep your cool. Number 9, don't be that guy that says, they don't tip me when I lose. Hear that, Paul, when you're playing? Somebody asks, well, you won a lot of money. You don't tip. Well, she doesn't tip me when I lose. You don't give the writers anything. You just hit a 4-teamer. Oh, they don't tip me when I lose.
Ooh. Big problem.
Awful.
Really? You hear it a lot?
Well, yes.
Wow.
You gave me number 10. Don't be that guy that claps every time a basket is scored.
This is outrageous. I couldn't believe it. It's referring. Yeah, it's whether you have a side or a total, the over in a basketball game. The guys from Jump Street. All right, we're going to be here for a while. It's going to take 2.5 hours. That is obnoxious and asinine.
Have you ever been on air with Tim Murray when he has a basketball bet? He's that guy. He's down 4-0. I'm done. I can't deal with it. I just don't. Please don't let them see the game. Turn the game off.
I like the reverse jinx in the tweet about Mitch does that from time to time. That's over.
Oh, yeah.
This bet him. He'll do that in a Friday. It's reverse jinx a little bit, but that's that's a good one on 11.
Especially if he has a big future and they're losing in some playoff game. Mitch will come right out and firing early in the game on that. I didn't want to put this on, but it's kind of like this.
Okay.
You know the Penn State fans. Every time they make a first down, they all yell together, "We are Penn State." Well, they do that like at Bar Canada. If you're a 32-point favorite, I don't need to hear it the entire game. Okay. I understand. You're playing Notre Dame in Miami.
Yes,
it's okay, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on. When you're playing Alcorn, I mean, I can't take it.
I like it. Yeah.
Where are we at? Number 11. This is what you're talking about, Joe. Don't be that guy that takes the time to set the dice and then shakes them prior to shooting. If you're going to set them, then shoot it when you set them. It's a total waste of time. Yeah. This one here is specific to us, number 12. Don't be that guy that says, I'm a friend of Derek. Oh, we hear that 100 times a day. Well, I'm a friend of Derek because they want something. They want something. I'm a friend. Derek meets 1,000 people. He stands and shake hands all the time. They do that. They think that they own the place, right?
Oh.
I know Joe mentioned also because we have the rice up in high limit for the baccarat and the Asian player. Don't be that person that takes the rice and then spills it all over the table. You like the Tupperware story.
Yes.
Where they come in with the Tupperware and fill up the rice bowl.
Yeah.
Tupperware.
Yeah, take it to go. It was a big problem. And
big issue.
Yeah, and some people maybe would eat out of it from time to time. That was how about spilling a drink on the felt?
Oh, it's awful. The dice is the worst.
It is?
You get these people, they hold their beer. That's why there's a rail underneath at a dice table.
Yes.
Because you got to move everybody. It ain't for 4 people, you're moving to the next blackjack game. You got to pick up everything. And then remember where everybody's chips were. There's contract bets on a dice table. Right? You're on the pass line. It's a contract bet. You can't just take it up. The time it takes if somebody spills a drink on a dice table to move it kills everybody just wants to leave.
What are we talking about on blackjack? Is it 15 minutes? Is it you spill a drink on a blackjack table?
If there's another table, you can get it moved in 10 minutes.
Yeah? Okay. Joe said this. He doesn't like when the guy plays the don't pass and the pass. Some places don't even allow it.
Yeah. When the pop-up dice games first came out and they were giving you points, they all allowed that. You have to fade the 12 because the 12's a push and a loser. But you could rack up a lot of free play at some of these joints just doing the don't on them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Your reaction to the list. FTM@vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. Maestro did a great job. Honorable mention. Did he miss anything? Bad behavior, things you hate to see. Don't be that guy at a casino. Your reaction coming up next. And get in on the action at First Bet. They have you covered. Access to exclusive promotions and bets on hundreds of thrilling horse races every day, right from your phone or computer. Visit First Bet. Use promo code VSIN200. Get a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. Don't miss out. Start betting today at firstbet.com. A+, he nailed it. Did it in 9 minutes. Your reaction coming up. And again, honorable mention to Don't Be That Guy. Almost 30 years experience in the casino business. More with that on Mike Palm, VSIN, Follow the Money. The Sports Betting Network, VSIN Watch app, Sirius XM Channel 158. Tell your friends.
This is Follow the Money on VSIN.
Talk MLB futures and Bregman of the Red Sox coming up with Chris Smith in a bit. Reaction to Don't Be That Guy. Mike hit it out of the park. The guys behind the glass did a great job as well with the graphics. The Dirty Dozen as well. And keep them coming on Instagram and tweet at us as well. FTM@vsin.com, the email. The guy that tells everyone else how to play, it usually has the least amount of chips in front of them. That's a good one, and an old big problem at blackjack. Do this, do that, don't you? Okay, all right. Especially if we're at the $10, $15 table. Calm down. I love number 3. The guy that sits down and complains, I haven't seen a cocktail waitress in 30 minutes. And also the guy who just sits down after I can't win a hand. What's going on? Shuffle. That one too. But sure.
Great tweets here, Paul.
Yep.
Great response here. This is good from Cancer Free from Stage 4. Don't be that guy who bets on a horse and starts screaming as soon as they break for the gate. There's a long way to go. Relax, dude. I'll never forget, Paul.
Yep.
I'm at the off-track in Atlantic City. The year I worked at the Borgata, we used to go to the off-track on Monday, Tuesday, days off. And I'm sitting there. There's a whole bank of screens, right? It's like a pyramid of 9. It's early it's freehold, right? It's in the morning time. The trotters at freehold was a pacer race. This guy's sitting there. He's pacing back and forth. It's one horse in the race. It's like 1-5 or 1-9. He gets locked in. He can't get out, runs out of the money. The guy's screaming. He kicked one of the TVs. He threw his ticket, knocked 2 chairs down on the way out, and stormed out the door. I'm like, it's only 9:45 in the morning. It was race 1 at Freehold. Some non-winners of 5 or something. I waited for a few moments, but I knew everybody wanted to do this. You had to go look at the ticket that he threw down. I said, what did the guy do? Come in here and lose $5,000 on this 1 to 5 shot?
Yeah.
$2 to show. He was trying to make 10 cents on the horse. $2 to show on the 1 to 5 shot. Trying to get back $2.20 on the $2. Never forget it.
In all your years doing this, and in your experience, does the person who makes the most noise have like nothing on it?
Yeah. In general.
Yeah.
In general.
It's
inversely proportional to the amount they're squawking.
Right. Well said. That seems to be the case as well. The guy that blows smoke in other people's faces.
There's a tweet from Jason at Jason118. Don't be that guy smoking a cigar, holding it directly behind me at the table so the smoke comes right up my back and into my face. Mm-hmm. You do that and we're going to have a problem.
Yeah. Corey, play the don't pass on the electronic craps machine. Mike, if you're going to play the don't pass at a full table, don't cheer if you win, sit in the corner and collect. And that's, Mike's got that on the list about don't make, that's a tough scene.
Well, you do. You stand in the corner because that's where the don't pass is, next to the base. That's a great point about the electronic game, Paul, because you're pretty much anonymous, except for the fact that when the number rolls out, it'll like flash red if you won and go blank if you lost. So like if somebody hits a number and the guy's screen goes blank, they were playing the don't a little bit. But that's only if you're paying attention, right? Everybody's bets are private.
Yeah. Can you explain 6? The barber pole again?
Barber pole is I mean, if you're gonna if you're betting 290, put the 2 black and the 3 green and the 3 red in that order. Don't mix them all up, because if the dealer has to pay you, then she's got to break it down for the camera and separate all your chips. Just like in a tournament in a poker table, you have to stack them up by denomination so it's clearly visible.
Or the people who just want to go all in on it and put
or whatever. If you're playing on the game by yourself at a high limit table, I get it. But when you're playing with 3 other people, you have an obligation to keep the pace of the game.
On number 12, is that after they ask for something, or is it when they are denied? The person who says, I'm a friend of Derek.
Could be either, but usually upon the ask. They walk in here with 5 other people at 7 o'clock on a Saturday. I need a table at I'm friend of Derek. I need it.
Oh.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah. Just change the dealer. I'm a friend of Derek. Can we get another dealer in here?
Okay.
Here's one for me, Paul. I was thinking about this. And this is you guys have done a great job breaking down the feet and all the insanitary on airplanes and the emotional support falcons and Shetland ponies and all that. Yes. How about board in the order of the zone that you paid? I watched this at the airport. These people trying to cheat the zones.
Yeah.
And these people checking them in that just let them go. I mean, if you're in zone 6, why are you boarding with zone 3? Just stand in line. You're not getting there any faster because you boarded earlier. I get it. You're looking for overhead space or whatever. But how about this, Paul? Wouldn't you pay to get off the plane first? Why don't airplanes charge a fee? No matter where you're sitting, you're top 10 to get off the plane. I think people would pay that fee. That's when you're trying to make up the time.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
I hate these zone jumpers, though. I watch every time I have to fly.
The zone jumpers.
They're zone jumpers.
Yeah. It's between putting the feet up, between taking the shoes off, between standing up and you're in the middle of the plane as soon as it lands, you can't go anywhere, or trying to move up on everybody. Exactly. Anyone else? Anything else? Honorable mention? Anything else not make the cut?
I wrote down a bunch of stuff here. Let me reference my list here.
Sure. While you're looking at that, I thought that the one from Von Tobel with the Taken, just the sign.
You'll see that at these March Madness parties now.
Yeah, you will. Whether it's at a table, sports book, video poker machine, whatever, and then the video poker machine, the chair's up against them, leaning up there with the Taken, and then it's kind of like the horse racing too, about the guy cheering every basket from the get-go in a basketball game, whether it's side or he has the over.
Don't be the guy that asks the dealers, you like taking my money? Annoying. Don't be the guy that wants to cut or even kiss or even lick the cut card. You ever see these people? You pass the cut around on the blackjack game, right? Sure. Go here.
Yeah.
Some of these guys that want to kiss it. It's disgusting. Totally unsanitary. Just pick a spot and give it back to her.
Oh, man. Well done. I knew you hit it out of the park. That's excellent. Don't be that guy. All right, loaded card tomorrow. And don't forget, we have San Jose State in action and money coming in against the Spartans today. And they're on an 18-2-1 ATS run. Big move on San Diego State in the last game. Spartans got the money, almost won it outright as double-digit dogs, and we're up 17.5. But best bets brought to you by G-Bank, official bank of VEASAN. G-Bank up in the ante with a $750 bonus for the new G-Bank Visa Signature Card. New customers who spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days from account opening receive a $250 bonus. And if you spend $50,000 on gaming and sports app loads within the 30 days of account opening, you get another $500 bonus. So potentially a $750 bonus. Apply now. VEASAN.com/GBank. VEASAN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. I'll ride with the maestro on this one. I'm a fan of the program, but I will take Arizona as a home dog tomorrow. The great doubleheader that goes, they start at 1, Houston, Arizona, followed by number 1 against number 2, Bama against Auburn. Bama, by the way, at DK was 1.5, total of 172. I'll take Arizona getting the points at home against Houston. And kind of a little bit what Dallin Cuff said about why he liked Kansas State in the last game about, you haven't been in this, seen this environment before. Well, maybe it could sneak up on you, but certainly it's a raucous crowd in Arizona. A hell of a team, and they really turned it around. I think Arizona will get the money and get the W tomorrow.
I think that was a tough look-ahead spot for them. Going there on a Tuesday to Manhattan, Kansas. But Arizona came back and had the ball tied with 3 minutes to go. I thought for sure they're going to win and cover, and my 3.5 was no good. Cuff hit the money line on it with Kansas State. Here's one we missed, Paul.
Okay, sure.
Brett Lalonde, and this applies to poker. Don't be the guy who buys into a 3-6 limit game with $1,000 or more in ones and has stacks to the ceiling. This is a bit of a hyperbole, of course, Brett, but if you have small bills from selling your dime bags, go to the cage or somewhere. Nobody has to count out all 5s and 10s. Now, I get it. If you're buying in for 200 and you have 10 20s, okay. But people want to come in with 20 or more bills that have laid out on a poker layout or on a blackjack layout or on a craps layout. It's ludicrous. Go to the cage, get it changed up, keep the game moving.
Very good. Excellent. Poker, blackjack, whatever it may be, craps. Yeah. I just can't believe. You said it only took 10 minutes, but what it must be like, whether it's because you have so many people that are intoxicated where you're not going to drink over, which accidents happen. But you'd hate to be that person. And then especially with that's a great point about craps, though, because you got the stuff underneath there.
Oh, yes.
Don't put it up top.
That's
just put
right.
that
There's
down
a rail. And they tell the box people, the dealers will tell these people, sir, put the beer on the rail. The guy's just, he's holding the beer out. Of course, he's already drunk. That you wouldn't be swaying the beer to begin with. Right? So, but it happens.
We'll talk hockey with Jonathan Davis about 4 nations and futures that he likes. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll go to baseball and futures. The Red Sox in it to win it, finally. The fan base was furious. They need it in the worst way. They get Bregman. He'll play second base. I think this is a playoff team. Chris Smith covers the Red Sox. We'll get his thoughts on the win total. Is this a playoff team? All the moves they made in the offseason and the AL East as well. Talk a little baseball with Chris coming up. Nigel Seeley with soccer. Win-lose as well. The college basketball card. And a lot to get to coming up still on the program. Follow the Money, VEASAN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM Channel 158. Get the VEASAN Watch app. Always check out the website as well. The information will blow your mind that's up there and the contributors every single day, every sport. Nigel with the soccer, Lou with the UFC, Mackin with the betting trends and numbers as well. Peterson on the college basketball card. Everything you want up there. And the prop analyzer is awesome. Don't forget about that with NBA, VEASAN.com. MLB, Chris Smith coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More of your reaction coming up to Don't Be That Guy. And Mike went down the airport route, so you know they're coming in with that angle and that direction as well. So keep them coming. FTM at VSiN.com. Tweet at us as well. We move on to MLB. Christopher Smith joins us now at Smitty on MLB on X. The big move the last couple of days is the Red Sox get Bregman, and he's on the progressive guest line. Appreciate a few minutes, sir. And if you can straighten me out here, about how big this was for the fan base that the Red Sox went out, spent money, and got a big-time free agent.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. You go back to last offseason, and at the beginning of last offseason, Craig Breslow said that he wanted 1 to 2 starters and that, the starting rotation needed to improve drastically. What did they do? They didn't go out and they pretty much, the opening day rotation in 2024 was 5 guys that they had on the team the previous year. They've continuously said, that they're going to do stuff, and they haven't. There's empty promises. And so it's obviously a frustration. I mean, look, 3 years without the postseason, that's unacceptable for the Red Sox. I mean, they're a big market team. They've won 4 World Series in, this century. To go 3 years without a without a playoff berth is really unacceptable. And the fans, you can see it at Fenway the past couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of tourist fans, fans from other teams. It's really, the passion hasn't been there. And so, you bring in an Alex Bregman, you bring in a couple pitchers, obviously Garrett Crochet, who had some of the best stuff in all of baseball last year. Match him, and then, Walker Buehler is a big game pitcher who is really good in the postseason. Last year recorded the last out of the World Series. And, you bring some of these guys in, you have six, proven starters. You have a lot of starting pitching depth. And now, this lineup looks a lot better with, Bregman and, being around, Jarren Duran and Rafael Devers and, guys like that. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of excitement probably. I'm in Fort Myers. I haven't really seen the fans, but I'm sure there's going to be more excitement about this year's team than the last 2 years.
Great answer.
Christopher, I want to push back on the starting pitching just a little bit. I understand the 6 guys, but who's going to eat innings? We don't know how many innings Crochet is going to be able to be extended to. Bello, 160 last year. Cutter Crawford, 147. Both Buehler and Giolito have seen their better days. So how much do you really expect out of this 5 or 6 man rotation?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that they have talked about a 6-man rotation, and that would be interesting. And, we're talking about some guys, as you said, that had Tommy John surgery. I think 4 of the guys have had Tommy John surgery. There's not a track record. I mean, Houck pitched, about 100 and I'm going to say like 60 or 70 more innings than he had ever pitched in a major league season last year. So there are inexperienced guys. Garrett Crochet was, they really reined him in Chicago during the second half last year. He finished with 146. I would think that the goal, 146 innings, I would think the goal for him is, 170, 180 this year. If you can get some of these guys between 150, 180, I mean, the game is gone where it's a 200 inning game, right? I think there was only 3 pitchers last year that pitched 200 innings. It hurts to not have a workhorse guy like Nick Pivetta that can that can provide you with that, workload no matter what. You're going to count on him for so many innings. But I think Giolito's in really good shape. People are healthy. I think Houck will be able to go the same amount that he went last year. Bayo made a lot of improvements in the second half last year. Started throwing his 4-seamer again and was a lot better. So, it's wait and see. But the other thing about that too is that they have a lot of starting pitching depth. So, if they run into that's been their huge issue the past few years. They've had, I think it was 21 bullpen games over the past 2 years, and they added, Quinn Priester from the Pirates at the trade deadline last year. Richard Fitz, who they got from the Yankees for Alex Verdugo, had 4 really good starts down the stretch last year. Cooper Criswell, who had 18 starts for the Red Sox last year, he's in the, he could be starting the year in Worcester's rotation. And then, they're going to make Michael Fulmer, who's obviously had injuries, but, they want him to be a starter. He could start the year in Worcester's rotation. So they have a lot of depth, which they haven't had in previous years, and that should help, especially if they go with a 6-man, and especially with guys that might not be able to go, 180.
Follow the money, Pauly and Mike Palm, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Christopher Smith, our guest, Red Sox reporter, Mass Live at Smitty on MLB on X. He's on the Progressive guest line. I thought they should have made the playoffs last year, and the bullpen let them down in the second half. Is this a playoff team now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. You look at last year and, their bullpen, I mean, they just didn't make the right acquisitions at the trade deadline. Luis Garcia and Lucas Sims were completely terrible out of the bullpen once they got them from, at the trade deadline. But the problem with last year was they needed to make a move about 3 weeks before the trade deadline because they, to get a reliever in there. They had some injuries. They were struggling a bit in the bullpen. A couple guys were not as effective as, at the beginning of the year. And so they really waited too long last year to go out and get some relievers. I think that they have more swing and miss to their bullpen this year with, Chapman, even a guy like Justin Wilson, a left-hander who's, has a lot of swing and miss. Garrett Whitlock will be back. And, we saw how good he could be out of the bullpen in 2021. So I look at it as, it's incredibly important that Trevor Story stays healthy, and they could have great infield defense, if he stays healthy with shortstop and Bregman at second. So I think they have a good offense, a good enough offense, good enough starting rotation, good enough bullpen to get there. I think that they didn't have the depth in the last 2 years. And, and Sam Kennedy, the president, is said, from the beginning of this past offseason, this offseason, he said they're going to put themselves in position to be a team that can win 90, 92 games every year, starting this year, and they need to prove it.
Absolutely. Can they, so plus 450 to win the division? Do you think that's possible if the Yankees and Orioles take a step back?
Definitely. I've seen teams, with the, it's interesting. They're giving this 3-year, large 3-year, $120 million contract to look at Bregman, which, it's the average annual value is lower. It's 31, not 40 million. But I mean, it's a 3-year contract that's kind of favorable to the team, right? And, and they did this going from 2012 to 2013 with, Mike Napoli, Shane Victorino, Ryan Dempster, I'm trying to think of who else, Johnny Gomes. They had got 2-3 year deals for all those guys, and they're character guys. And so you bring in you have a good young core already on this team. Duran, Wilyer Brady, who won a Gold Glove, several young, players that are good core. You have the best, farm system in baseball. It was ranked number 1 by Baseball America. They have two guys, especially Roman Anthony, who's the number 2 prospect in baseball, and Christian Campbell, who's the number 7 prospect in baseball, very close. So you have, very young talent, but you've also mixed it here with, as I said, you like the 2012 to 2013 team, some guys with experience, some veterans. You've mixed it now with guys like, Buehler and, Bregman, who have been in big games before. And so it should be interesting to see how that meshes the young guys, the veteran guys, and how they can turn that. I mean, we've seen the last 2 years, they were really in it until the last, month and a half. And so I think they've corrected some of those issues to stay in it now until the final day of the season here.
Christopher, 30 seconds left. Given Bregman's power decline over recent years and the move to the Green Monster, was it worth a bet for Bregman to lead the AL in doubles?
Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox, they historically, every year they lead the league in doubles. I think even in 2020 when they had their worst team ever, they led that year, that 60-game season in doubles. It's a doubles ballpark. He's going to be a perfect fit for that. And, he has great numbers in Boston. So, yes, I would say yes.
Thanks a lot, Christopher. Talk to you soon.
Yeah,
well done.
Problem. Anytime.
Thank you.
All right,
Christopher Smith, Red Sox reporter on Smitty on MLB on X. Playoff team, maybe win the division, and over 86.5 wins. USA, Canada tomorrow, and futures in the NHL with Jonathan Davis next.